Hi, I'm Roamy. Today I'm going to show you how to use the Tula Explore carrier on its widest setting to carry a baby facing inwards. So here I've got the Tula Explore carrier and I've got it adjusted so the poppers on the waistband are on the widest, so they've got 3 poppers done up on both sides, and on the front I've got the buttons done up on the wider setting here, so not in the facing outwards position, in the wider one there. So make sure your carrier is adjusted so it's got the poppers and the buttons in the same position. Then you're going to put it on like this. So take the waistband and fold this piece over, and then depending on how tall you are, you're either going to want to wear it on your hips or just above. It really depends on you and how long your torso is and how big your baby is. So I'm just putting mine on my hips here and tightening it up like that. So you want it to sit about as tight as a belt, so it's snug but not uncomfortably so. And a good tip is if you do it up slightly above where you want it to sit and then lower it down into position, it will be nice and snug and it will be sitting easily there, rather than trying to tighten it up in position, which is a little bit harder. So tighten it up a little bit above where you want it to be and then slide it down. And you want the carrier to be sitting level front to back. So if you took a line between these two, you want them to be level so it's not tipping forwards. So get the waistband comfortable and make sure this is sitting evenly on your front. So you've got the centre point here is in the centre of you. Once you've got all that adjusted, just have a quick look at the straps. Now again, it depends on how tall you are, but for a front carry, you'll generally want these straps here, the one that goes across behind on your back. You generally want it towards the top of the strap, so closest to the body of the carrier. So just slide these up if you need to, so they're nice and high. It just makes it easy to reach them down here. And finally, just check how long these are. So obviously again, depending on how big you are and how big baby is, you'll want to loosen these off so you've got a bit of slack, but not so much they're super loose or really tight. So once you've got all that adjusted, you can pick up your baby. So the demo doll I'm using today is around a sort of 9-month-old size. So obviously it depends on how big your baby is as to which position you use, but this sort of size of doll or baby is likely to fit in the widest setting. So hold your baby on your front with their legs wrapping around you. Ideally you want their bottom lower than their knees and their head on your upper chest, which is what will determine where this goes. So obviously if their head is on your upper chest and the body of the carrier is really low down, then you can obviously adjust it upwards and vice versa. So check you're happy with their position. Hold them with one hand, and with the other slide it under the base of the carrier and stroke it up over their bottom and back so you're holding them with the material. One strap goes over one shoulder and the other strap goes over the other. Now what's really nice about this carrier is that once you've adjusted it to fit you, you don't need to do any adjustments each time. It will all then be set. So it's only the first time you use it, or if you're adjusting it between people, that you'll need to do any adjustments. So check that the carrier is holding your little one fairly securely. If you need to, just tighten these up a little bit, but not fully, because we want to do the additional tightening a little bit. So check the carrier is supporting your baby. Then you're going to reach behind your neck and find this clip and clip it together like that. So you want this to be sitting basically just below the nape of your neck. If you need to, you can shift these down, but for most people that's likely to be about the right position. Now this is really important. The next thing you want to do is tighten these up so they sit flat on your shoulders. So you want to tighten that clip up so the straps here sit flat on your shoulders so they're not tipping in or tipping out. So play about with that to make sure it's sitting nicely on your shoulders. Once you've done that, then you can fully tighten these. So baby can either have their arms out of the side or out over the top, whichever they prefer. To tighten these, you want to take hold of the webbing and you want to pull it in the direction it's come from. So straight like this rather than down or up. So you want to take the webbing and pull it straight forwards like that. And then do the same on the other side. So put it straight forwards like that. Now you want to ensure the carrier is holding your baby nice and securely. They should feel like they're being carried in arms. If you go like this and you feel you need to lift them, then just tighten it up a little bit more. Another way to check if it's tight enough is to rest your hand on the back of baby's head and just gently lean forward and make sure their body doesn't pull away from you. If you find it a little bit difficult to tighten because of the weight of baby, you can do a little bounce as you're tightening, and what that will do is just take the weight of baby so you're not having to lift them when you're tightening the strap. So a little bounce while you tighten can make it much easier. So the main safety things with this age of baby are to make sure they're held nice and securely, so there's no way they can lean out. You want to ensure the top edge of the carrier is no higher than the nape of their neck and no lower than their armpits. So they can have arms out over the top, which I can show you now. Put arms over the top like this, and that's absolutely fine as long as the fabric comes to their armpit. So even if they were to lean, they can't come out. Position wise, have a little feel and check you've got an even amount of leg on either side. If you need to, you can slide your hands in and shift baby from one side to the other. Ideally, you want their bottom lower than their knees. So if you need to, just take hold of their thighs and give a little tilt to curve their bottom around, lifting their knees higher. You want to ensure the fabric comes from one knee to the other, but no wider than their knee pits. So if you do find it's going wider, then you'll need to just adjust the width back to the middle setting, so with 2 poppers done up rather than all 3. That's pretty much it for the carrier. So to take baby out, we're just going to reverse what we've done. So reach behind your neck and find the clip and unclip that. Hold baby with one hand and bring one strap off. Hold them with the other hand and bring the other strap off. And then you can take baby out. And then you can either leave the carrier around your waist ready for next time, or you can take it off too. I hope that's been helpful.